Our opening song is Shir Chadash.
Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Adonai, Shir Chadash. Sing unto God of the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
I'd like to invite Kathy and Bob Burns to kindle the Shabbat candles. You'll find the readings on page 120 and 121.
We'll get it.
Hold on. Don't go away.
Move away, I'm breathing.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with this mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik shel Shabbat.
We read together on page 126. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Please turn to page 138 for Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pinei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pinei Shabbat nekabela. Shamot v'sachor v'dibur echad, Ishmi ha'myuhel ha'myuchad. Adonai echad, u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litilah. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pinei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pinei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechura lecha, Ki mekor habracha. Ve'rosh mikerem nesulcha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tichila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pinei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pinei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoridi, kiva orech kulmi ori, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pinei Shabbat nekabela. Boi ve'shalom ateret bala, Gam misimcha u'vetzola. Tochamuneh am segula. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pinei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pinei Shabbat nekabela.
You'll find the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemer Rabba, Bi'alma divorach edute v'hamlik machute, B'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'chayet kol bet Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמר אברהם מבורך לעולם ולעלמי המיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתבהר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתעטר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמר קדושה בריחו לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבקתה ונחמתה דמירן מעלמה ויאמרו amen.
Please rise for the Baruch Hu on page 146.
Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Le'olam Amen.
We read together on page 149 at the bottom. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Haravim, Aravim.
Avat olam et Yisrael.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך, בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We read together, "You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohim Emet." We will be singing on page 158, Mi Chamocha.
Malchutecha אומר חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גל ישראל.
Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content. Her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. On the next page, we read at the bottom, grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, O guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, for your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
ישמחו, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת בכל העונג. ישמחו, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת בכל העונג. עם קדשי שבי, כולם ישמחו ויתענגו בטובך. ישמחו, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת בכל העונג. והשביעי רצית בו, וקידשתו, וקידשתו. חמדת ימים, חמדת ימים, אותו קראת, קראת. זכר למעשה בראשית, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת בכל העונג.
Please rise for the tefillah, which you will find on page 164.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופיה כי תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מקלקל חיים בחסד, Mikhael hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim velofech olim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei hafad, mikamo kabad gevurot, umidwa melach, melech bemitz umchaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai El HaKadosh. Please be seated. We read together at the top of page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Oh
Find favor, Adonai, our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer and love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. We read together on page 177 at the top. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha ne'eh.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha, Tasim
We read together at the top of page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamvarech et Amo Yisrael, Bashalom. At this time in our service, we want to think of all of those in need of healing of body, mind, and spirit in our world, which has so most recently seen such a great degree of upset internationally, nationally, and locally. If you have a name that you'd like to say, please do so now. And to those I would add Eloise Rapino, Phyllis Horowitz, and Amy Bucky. The prayer for healing the Misha Berach is on page 371.
Of strength to bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
We take a moment for silent prayer. I have to get all my papers arranged here. According to the poet laureate of all things absurd but necessary, and very important, Shel Silverstein, there are all sorts of ways to behave which are governed by rules. For example, I'm making a list. I'm making a list of all the things I must say for politeness and goodness and kindness and gentleness, sweetness and rightness. Hello? Pardon me? How are you? Excuse me. Bless you. May I? Thank you. Goodbye. If you know some that I forgot, stick them in your eye. All of these are rules that seem to be necessary to be polite. Most people probably would agree that any society needs rules. Just look what happens in Lord of the Flies or Animal Farm. This week's Torah portion, Mishpatim, which is Exodus 21 through 24, deals with the development of rules for the Hebrew society. I find it very interesting that it is the 18th portion of the year, Chai, life, because it really does set up the structure for the Hebrew people who arrive at Sinai to have a life. Humans need rules to avoid chaos in society and for societal interaction. One definition of rules is that they are a set of instructions developed by people to help them live together. The consequences of breaking those rules could be flexible. For example, if two friends have a long-standing dinner date and the rule is either show up or call and cancel, that's what's expected. If on a particular day one of them doesn't show up and doesn't call, that person has broken the rule. But the consequences could be very flexible once the reason is discussed and they've talked it out. It's a personal decision. Laws are legal versions of rules. They are usually more rigid or moral in structure and designed to help keep order, protect property, and keep people safe. The consequences are predetermined and hold, or should hold, everyone to the same standard. That's according to this website I found by Sumner and Associate Attorneys at Law. I have a confession to make, although I know it's not Yom Kippur. I like watching TV. I really do. And among my favorite shows are all of the versions of Law and Order. Law and Order, the original, Law and Order, SVU, Law and Order, Organized Crime, da-dum. There was even a British version where the lawyers were barristers and the judge was addressed as my lord. While the storylines might be ripped from the headlines, the programs usually offer a description of a broken law and an eventual consequence. It's structural and concrete, even if it occasionally strays from that rigid format. That's what Mishpatim is all about. It sets out a structure in a structured law code. Last week, Rabbi Gibson offered us a wonderful, insightful description of the Holiness Code, the Big Ten. In Mishpatim, we have the practical application of that code, the nuts and bolts of how to structure a society. It offers a diverse collection of civil, criminal, ritual, and ethical laws. According to an explanation in the Jewish Study Bible, quote, the Torah's strong emphasis on law led to the important place that law and its study have in Judaism, unquote. These laws, 248 positive laws, what Jews should do, and 365 negative ones, which Jews shouldn't do, form the basis of a just society. There were other law codes in the ancient Near East. The most well-known of them is the Code of Hammurabi. Hammurabi, the greatest ruler of Babylonia, which is Mesopotamia, which is modern-day Iraq. There are some similarities between the Code of Hammurabi and the laws of Moses. Among them, civil order. Applying the laws of Moses and Hammurabi offers a standard for civil society. Something called lex talionis, which can be thought of as an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. As an aside, while that might seem like a very harsh description of the way law should work, it was certainly much more just than the other law codes in the area, which for every infraction brought about a death penalty for any crime. So an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth really is more just. There are other similarities, but there are certainly many more differences. Some of these examples include those regarding sanctity of life. The Code of Hammurabi represents a lower view of humans and human life than that of the laws of Moses. They are very differentiated between upper-class society and lower-class society. Who is favored? The code favors the free and the wealthy. The laws of Moses favor any people who are oppressed. Mercy. While the concept of mercy appears with regularity throughout the laws of Moses, it is exceedingly rare in the Code of Hammurabi. Certainly there are others, but here's the main concept. Hammurabi's code revolves around maintaining order in society and establishing political power, primarily for Hammurabi. The laws of Moses demonstrate a concern for others and the obligation to seek justice. We see that same focus in the U.S. Constitution, just happen to have one here, and the Bill of Rights. It's very interesting. The Code of Hammurabi is of earthly origins, whereas the Ten Commandments and all those that follow are essentially of divine origin, half of which address how the Hebrews deal with God and half how they deal with each other. Those ideas are still very much with us and are critical today. Maybe the TV producers of those shows I mentioned should think of a new version. Maybe it could be Law and Order, the Torah. It could be a really big hit. Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to call Janine Hutner to give us some announcements.
The Kiddush this evening is in loving memory of Elaine Serene Goebel Levine from Richie and Penny Levine and family. Please don't forget to order your Hamantashen and Mishlot Mano baskets. Deadline for the order is due by Tuesday, February 28th. This Sunday, February 19th at 3 p.m., please join us as the celebrated BGSU Tuba and Euphonium Ensemble, directed by our own David Saltzman, will present a concert. Reception will follow the concert. Bring your friends. This is not your ordinary, everyday type of concert. We'll wrap up the month with a Just Because It's Shabbat with dinner to follow on Friday, February 24th at 6 p.m., led by Cantor Jen Rohr. Mark your calendars for Shabbat Yoga, Body and Soul on Saturday, March 4th at 10:30. The Purim Spiel on Sunday, March 5th at 9:15 a.m. Esther's Disney Megillah, followed by our Purim Carnival. Please join us for Kiddush in the hallway after services, where we will have the opportunity to greet one another. Shabbat Shalom.
Please rise for the Elena, which you will find on page 586.
לשבח לאדון הכל, להזיז גדולה
Please be seated. There are stars whose light reaches the earth only after they themselves has disintegrated and are no more. And there are men and women whose shining memory lights the world after they themselves are no longer among us. These lights, which shine in the darkest night, are the very ones which illumine for us the path. A poem by Hannah Senish. This evening, we remember those whose death has recently claimed from us, Bernard Spiegel and Bernard Speyer. We add to this week those whose yahrzeits occur: Sylvia Applebaum, Rosanna Binzer, Anna Brodsky, Leonard H. Cooperman, Mary R. Davis, Betty Dolgen, Ben Fain, Rebecca Friedlander, Dr. Ernst Gottschalk, Ben B. Green, Helen Greenfield, Samuel Hahn, John Haslow, Robert Jones, Hannah Castle, Betty Katz, Herman Katz, Benjamin Levy, Abe J. Levine, Elaine Levine, Marcia Lieber, Abraham Mindell, Maurice Moyer, Kenneth Raymond Jr., Henry Rappaport, Samuel H. Robbins, Stanley M. Romanoff, Benjamin Rubin, Sandra Shockett, Robert B. Schuler, Patricia Schulack, Jerome Schur, Isidore Silverman, Robert A. Silverman, Jesse Siskind, Arthur P. Solomon, Lynn Stark, Sarah Tarloff, James Wagner, and Sylvia Wurzman. We rise and as a community offer Kaddish, which you will find on page 598. Yitkadal v'yishkadal shemei rabo, Noma divrach b'gutei v'yamlich mahutei, B'chaye hom v'yukeu v'meir.
Vayed kol beit Yisrael, Agalau bizman kariv emiru.
Amen. Yehei shalei rabba v'ruach le'olam homi omeya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbahar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar v'yit haleh v'yit halal shemei dekudashah berechu. Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechamata da'amiram b'yamav yimru amen. Yehei shalom rabba mishemaya v'chaim Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav Yaseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the Father of peace send all peace to all who mourn and comfort all of us who are bereaved. And we say together, Amen.
Amen.
God, help us now to make this new Shabbat. After noise, we seek quiet. After crowds of indifferent strangers, we seek to touch those we love. After concentration on work and responsibility, we seek freedom to meditate, to listen to our inward selves. We open our eyes to the hidden beauties and the infinite possibilities in the world you are creating. We break open the gates of the reservoirs of goodness and kindness in ourselves and others. We reach toward one holy, perfect moment of Shabbat. Ruth Brim from her poem collection, Harvest. Our closing song this evening is Maya Fe Hayom. Please join us for the Motzi and Kiddush in the hall. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Fabulous.